Ladies and gentlemen of the rock and roll, punk, prog, hardcore, thrash, and heavy metal community, my name is Jason, and this is the Great Metal Standoff, the podcast that pits music's greatest albums in track-by-track combat, and it is about time, dear listeners. If we are going to put a Metallica and Megadeth album against each other 3 times, deep diving into the other half of the Big Four is well overdue. It wouldn't be an 80s thrash or really just an 80s metal battle in general if Imran and I didn't do this one with our good friend Ben Holt. He's already done 4 of these. Half of them are 80s metal battles, most recently being Peace of Mind versus Screaming for Vengeance. And Ben joins us, accompanied by his uncontrollable excitement to the fieriest, deepest pits of track-by-track combat. The only place to contain Slayer, Rain in Blood, and Anthrax among the living. Enough said. Let's go to the rules. Every album battle will be contested in track-by-track format by a podcast panel. Each individual panelist all select a winner of each pairing. The winning track receives a point to that individual's tally score. Tracks on albums that go uncontested can receive a tally point if a panelist awards it a gold star. We'll need that today. Once the battle is over, the album with the highest tally scores will receive 1 grand point for that album. If a panelist tally score results in a draw, both albums will receive a half grand point each, and finally, the album with the most grand points will be declared the winner. Slayer vs. Anthrax, the other metal heavyweights of the Big Four, finally on the standoff. Rain in Blood vs. Among the Living. It left Imran and I very curious, but if this era of metal had a head cheerleader, it would be Ben Holt. This will be a journey, folks. Over to Imran and Ben. Roll the audio. Benjamin, it's good to see you again because it's you've done 4 of these. This is number 5, but this is a fun little milestone for at least the 3 of us in the studio because Imran, you haven't met Ben in person, and we've both known him for about the same amount of time, about 2 years. Yeah. Done a couple of podcasts with him, and but here we are. It's nice to remove a blemish from the record there.
Yeah, it's interesting. You're a lot taller than I expected.
Oh, a lot taller?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a compliment because I normally slouch too much. But yeah, I'm like 6'1". Which is somewhat, I think in wrestling that was meant to be like the bare minimum height you could be.
That's about
if
right,
you wanted to be taken seriously. But yeah, it's
nice.
it's not bad. But are you taller than me? We didn't even measure.
I'm not 6'1". So.
Okay. It doesn't matter. There's no competition.
Yeah.
I don't have hair like that. See, I always wish I could grow long hair like both of you guys, and it just turns into a crazy afro, so I just ditched the idea.
You got to rock the afro, dude.
Yeah, maybe
when we met Ben, Imran, it was only via Zoom. This is around about the pandemic time, so we're only doing radio via Zoom just as a little bit of inside baseball for the listeners. And Ben, you had the afro at the time, and I did think you rocked it.
Okay.
Maybe give it another shot.
Yeah, maybe on camera it was better than in person, but who knows? Maybe we can do another one in a year's time, and I won't cut my hair from now till then, and we can all see what we think.
Exactly. Lock it in.
I got to bring this up again. I love the irony too, Imran. Ben and I did do a studio podcast a year ago, and the first thing he said to me was, "You're a lot taller than I anticipated. I'm 6'2".
That is so true. I remember saying that to Jason, actually.
It's on the record, too. Yeah. Exodus v Annihilated. It is on the record. But this one, it's Slayer v Anthrax, and we've done 3 battles of Metallica versus Megadeth, as I said in the intro there. And Imran, we needed to fill the rest of it up.
Yeah, these are the other 2 of the Big Four.
The news broke earlier today, and I don't want to get too off topic, but I was excited to see the Knotfest lineup and to see that Megadeth is on it.
Okay, that's exciting.
Yeah,
Pretty cool.
I saw that today.
So it's been a long time since I've seen Dave Mustaine, so it'll be good to see the boys again.
I'm still yet to hear their new release.
Only listened to the first single. What was that one? It was We'll Be Back. Only listened to that so far. And I think Dogs of Chernobyl I gave a shot, but I don't have really any opinion on that because I didn't listen to that song enough. Let's use this as a bit of a catch-up. We're going to use this as a little bit of a catch-up as well. We haven't actually seen Ben in a while, and it's the first time in person Imran's ever met him, so we're just going to talk a little bit. We'll get to Slayer and Anthrax in a second. What is your thoughts on Sick and the Dying, the Dead right now, Ben? Have you had a chance to listen to all of that?
I have, unfortunately, not had a chance to listen to it. Okay. For me, that's insane, because normally every Megadeth album, day one, I'm on it. Yeah. With that said, though, the Kiko, the newest guitarist who played on the other album, amazing player.
Yeah.
We do have James Lomenzo on the bass, who I met back in the day at Billy Hyde Blackburn, because he was there doing a bass clinic.
I met, what's his name there?
Sean Drover?
No.
No.
The original Megadeth guitarist.
Oh.
Marty Friedman.
Oh, yeah.
I met him there.
There was Chris Poland before.
Chris Poland's the
him.
original.
But Marty Friedman's
the
like
other original.
the key. Yeah. Oh, that is...
Yeah.
Yeah, Marty Friedman's one of the best ever. Yeah, so no, unfortunately I haven't heard the new Megadeth album. But yeah, I have found I've created a really bad monster. I got into so many bands that now it's like every Friday there's a new album out. And I just don't get to them like I used to. So then it just piles up, and then
It's such a Ben thing, Imran.
and then 8 months later, I'm like, oh, I finally heard the new Megadeth album, guys. Oh, you just listening to that? Like, come on.
I haven't
Anyway,
had a chance either myself. But
Yeah.
what has actually been on heavy rotation for you in terms of music?
Well,
It
last-
doesn't have to be metal. What's been a frequent listen for you right now?
last time you and I hung out, we did Exodus Annihilator. I was on an Annihilator binge, and a year later, I still haven't got off it. I still just listen to them religiously, like all the time. Along with, I still love Meshuggah.
Yep.
Love my Van Halen, and love my synth pop.
Nice.
That is just me. It's my go-to all the time. So
Hell yeah.
yeah, but yeah, there's a new Slipknot album out. I would be curious to try it. Apparently, it's
I heard
very
about
experimental and stuff. So be good to try all this stuff out. So yeah, exciting times. Oh, and the new Fallujah I have had on repeat. That album is amazing. So hopefully they come out too.
A Ben recommendation that he gave to me years ago that I finally came around to was a Jacob Zytecki, because you bigged up during the pandemic his live performance in 2020, and I finally gave that a listen. Yeah, thoroughly enjoyed it.
Oh,
Good
excellent.
album.
Not just because it's so beautifully composed, but the mix on it. It just has such an
it's pristine.
incredible sound mix, and Jacob actually mixed it himself. And he just released a new song not that long ago, and it's still killer. So
That one was a lot heavier, wasn't it?
it was,
Yeah,
yes,
I remember
yes.
listening to
But
that.
it
That
still had
was
those
exciting.
awesome visuals. So if you have not listened to Jacob Zytecki live 2020, to me it was my soundtrack of the pandemic. In the middle of all the chaos going on, it was like really good to just ease your mind and listen to that. So that's a good takeaway, if nothing else, from today.
That, and now I'm a Royal Blood fan too.
Oh, yes. Okay. I've never seen those guys before.
Royal Blood. I need
Yeah.
to. I've been meaning to check them out for so long.
Yeah, that's another one. Ben wouldn't stop talking about it when we first were speaking with him week to week. So eventually I came around to it.
It just
and,
excites me, though, that like I'll say these things and figure out I've said them. And then 2 years later, Jason's like, hey, remember 2 years ago when you said that? I went, did I? No. That is absolutely awesome. So
Yeah.
beautiful.
Now, if I could recommend Royal Blood to you, Imran, some songs like, I guess, Little Monster, Lights Out, and the new stuff, Typhoons, that's a bit more, funk, a bit of party. And you heard the Typhoons record?
I have not heard the Typhoons record.
Typhoons
no.
is not so bad. But,
Yeah,
I think your way to go. Your way to go is probably the first one. Start from the start and work your way up.
Yeah. Royal Blood are the guys. It's one bassist and a drummer, and that's
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
And they did Sabatru on the Blacklist to weave it back to the Big Four because, again, we just wanted to catch up. We genuinely have not seen each other in a very long time. So there you go. There's our update for you. Slavey Anthrax, when we pitched it, Ben, you helped us pitch it because I've looked at my list of battles that I wrote 3 years ago when I conceptualized the standoff. Rain and Blood was up against a Venom record at one point. It was up against... what else was it up against? I remember Venom being one of the main ones. Welcome to Hell v. Rain and Blood. But eventually we were like, well, we did the Reese's Pieces with Matthew last time round. It brought up Slavey Anthrax. I think it's about time. You helped us pitch it. What made you pick Among the Living?
What made me pick Among the Living versus Rain and Blood is these were two of the first ever thrash albums I purchased. So I purchased Ride the Lightning along with a copy of Peace Sells by Megadeth, along with Rain and Blood, and Anthrax Among the Living. How did I come about all these? I actually had a Metal Hammer that was just a thrash metal edition, and they ranked the top 50 thrash albums of all time. So those 4 albums I mentioned were in the top 10 of the list. And oh man, this was my gateway to both those bands. And I ended up buying back before streaming was a big thing. I just feel like I'm sounding old now. I bought all the CDs and just listened to it all religiously. But I think both these bands' strengths are for very different reasons. I still do firmly believe to this day that Anthrax don't quite get the appreciation they deserve. Like, to be in the Big Four is an amazing achievement, but there's always these jokes on the internet that they don't deserve to be there, and I just think that's unfair, in my opinion. Like, they made an amazing contribution. So with this album, I look forward to diving in with you guys to it, along with, in my opinion, the best Slayer album ever.
Now's the time to make your big case because, Imran, Anthrax is a blind spot for both of us.
Yeah.
Really?
Before this podcast, I've never listened to Anthrax before.
Wow.
Yeah, like ever.
That actually,
It
I'm
sounds-
Kind of
wrapped.
shocked face, listeners.
Jason, had you listened to Anthrax a full record before this?
No, but what I did try
Yeah.
and do, I wish I did it with Slayer because the only Slayer I consumed was Angel of Death and Raining Blood. But with Anthrax, it was nothing. Gave Among the Living a shot, but I tried Spreading the Disease. And what's the first one called again?
The first one is called Fistful of Metal, yes.
Listen to that as
Yep.
well. So I tried to get a little bit of extra context with Anthrax because I was significantly less familiar with that. Spreading the Disease was a fun listen, by the way.
amazing.
I should tell you that.
Joey Belladonna is the lead singer during these albums.
Yep.
And he actually mimics, especially on Spreading the Disease, quite a bit of Steve Perry's vocal harmonies and like channel and stuff. So on that album, he sounds a lot like Journey, which I love. Whereas this album, he gets a little bit more gritty. He still sounds awesome, I think, but his voice isn't quite at the centerfold as it normally is. To me, Anthrax have really catchy vocal sections. I reckon just really fun riffs, and I always love their backup gang vocals, and the bass playing is always fun. It's always happening. There's something going on. To me, Anthrax are just a good time.
Yeah.
That's what I love about the guys. But my favorite Anthrax record, before we go any further, is actually Sound of White Noise. But that would not, we'd more compare that album to a grunge album than a traditional thrash metal album.
Interesting.
That was the...
Did they go through like a 90s thing like Metallica and Megadeth?
Yep. So Joey got kicked out after their fifth album, Persistence of Time. And not long after that, they got John Bush, who was originally in Armored Saints. But John Bush is also incredibly famous for turning down Metallica to be their lead singer on Ride the Lightning. So instead, years later, he ended up joining Anthrax, and they did, in my opinion, one of the best albums ever. But to me, Among the Living is the fan favorite, and I felt like it was a similar time frame and definitely the best combination to fight against the Slayer album.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was very surprised at the Anthrax album. I mean, I feel like I shouldn't have been because being part of the Big Four, like, you have to be freaking heavy, right? And, like, straight from the first song, I was like, whoa, these guys are, like, sick. Putting them up against Slayer, this is going to be interesting because me and Slayer, we go way back. We don't go as far back as, like, Metallica, for example.
Or System of a Down, I guess.
Exactly. No, Slayer, I got into Slayer more like, you know, after I was very familiar with Metallica and I kind of delved into Megadeth because, you know, the lead singer of Megadeth was in Metallica, you know? Ooh,
yeah.
it's crazy. And then I hear there's a Big Four and I hear about this band named Slayer and I'm like, damn, they sound cool. And I remember hearing like Rain and Blood ages ago and I think it might have been from like a South Park episode or like Guitar Hero or something, but I remember listening to it and thinking, whoa, like that, whoa.
Nothing tops that.
Yeah. So, yeah, kind of went through there. I haven't done a massive deep dive into Slayer, but I've listened to a fair few of their albums and just, yeah, if I want to just like run around in circles and punch the air, I'm listening to Slayer.
That's the impression you get listening to Slayer, and you kind of need to turn your brain off and just turn the aggression up.
Yeah, turn into a gorilla or something. Yeah.
Exercise the reptilian part of your brain that just wants be shake fist.
Yep.
Slayer! That's the noise, I guess.
I always wondered whether that's why the band actually ended early, because to replicate Slayer's music night in, night out, that would just take, to me, so much effort. So especially if you're getting older and these guys are getting like late 50s, 60s. Yeah. Oh, man, that's a hard task.
Tom Araya, even in their last album, Repentless, he sounds amazing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like, I'm surprised he lasted that long and
unreal.
Still sounds absolutely fantastic.
Yeah. So good.
Yeah.
And I did love, well, obviously it was a sad circumstance, but to get Gary Holt, who I think is one of the best guitarists ever.
Yeah.
In thrash metal, from Exodus, to get him with Slayer, it's a shame it happened in the circumstances that it did, but pretty killer. I got to see him live with him and Slayer sounded
Did you see him at Download?
I saw them at Download and I saw them at 2 Soundwaves and a festival hall. So I got lucky enough. I've seen him a few times.
Yeah,
Anthrax I've seen twice.
Nice.
Yeah. So
How many times did he run?
I wanted to see him at Download so bad, and I missed out on tickets, man. And then one of my friends was telling me about how he snuck into Download by like printing a fake ticket and everything, and he got to see Slayer.
We don't endorse this.
We don't. No, we
not
don't.
At all.
But I was so jealous of him after he told me that, because he saw Slayer.
Oh, you rapscallion. What was your first impressions discovering Slayer, Ben? I'm interested now.
Yeah, so it's awesome that we're doing this chat in the city. I happen to be in the city. I went to Elizabeth Street, probably, oh my gosh, this would have been 2008, 2009. And I went to the JB, I bought Rain and Blood, and went, yes, it's only $10. That was the money I had on me. And I remember going home, putting it in the CD player, and heard the first track. And when the double kick drums started after the main riff, I went, whoa. This might actually be like a bit too intense for me. That was my first thought, that I'm not sure I'm going to like this.
I cannot imagine that with you, Ben.
And I know, it was crazy, but that's the period I was at, because it was, Judas Priest and a bit of Megadeth before it. But then it was almost the sense of shock that kept me returning to it, to go, I kind of love this. Like, I'm not sure this is for me, but it keeps bringing me back. And over time, it created an absolute monster. And then got into harsh vocals and everything in between. But yeah, I think Slayer, to get into extreme music, I think they're like the best gateway band you can find. Super talented guys. Yeah, just awesome
Definitely.
stuff.
What a battle we got lined up for it. There's only one thing left to do. And whoa! Timekeeper! Right into it, jeez! Good on you, Timekeeper. He wants us to get started. My God. Angel of Death versus Among the Living. Let's go! Angel of Death, undeniable start. Among the Living, good start, Ben. We start with our guests, as always.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Wow, what an amazing opening 2 tracks to go head-to-head. I truly do believe Angel of Death is one of the best metal songs ever made. If I was to do a list, it might be in my top 10. It gets every single thing right. It has absolute ferocious speed, power, grit, aggression, and to me it's got one of the best mid-paced thrash metal riffs ever that comes in midway through the song. And then you get the classic ride cymbal part, which every death metal band's ripped off since. I just think this song is such an awesome statement. But with Among the Living, I think it is, I'm kind of glad you guys have never really properly listened to Anthrax. I think that is the perfect introduction song.
Solid start.
Oh, it's great, to who Anthrax are. Super catchy, super fun, but man, it is against one of the best metal songs ever in my opinion. So early on, I've got to go with Slayer on this one.
Yeah. I really liked Among the Living, as the first ever Anthrax song that I've ever listened to. Right from the drony intro, I was like, whoa, this is cool. And it goes into this like Metallica-style groove. I was like, nice, that's like such a cool riff. I like that bridge riff as well that comes in. And then all of a sudden it's just thrash. And I'm like, yeah, this is what I came here for. I wasn't expecting the singing to be melodic, to be honest. Because, Megadeth kind of delve into that a bit, and Metallica do as well. Slayer, absolutely not. But yeah, it's like you kind of get a bit of like Bruce Dickinson in his vocals, like the passion and the ferocity. Maybe not so much the technicality and stuff, but just the sheer passion and you just want to scream with him. I like how it switches from the fast part then back to that opening riff, speeds up a little bit in the solo as well, which is really cool. The double bass kicks as well in this song. Big shout out to that. Insane. Angel of Death. Is anyone willing to do an impression of the Tom Araya scream at the start? Okay. Because I'm not, but absolutely.
I can do it. I just think it's gonna wreck the listeners' ears.
Yeah.
Let's save their hearing.
I agree.
Absolutely amazing. Go listen to the song if you want to hear
the scream,
the greatest scream of all time. God damn.
Incredibly iconic. No doubt.
Comes out of nowhere.
It's just beautiful. Right on the opening track, you've got this really fast-paced riff, and then the drums are coming in, the bass is coming in, and then all of a sudden, bang! I'm not doing the scream, but yeah, like you said, Ben, that middle riff, immaculate.
Bridge riff, right?
Oh
yeah.
I don't know whether that was a Jeff riff or a Kerry King riff, but oh my gosh, that is one of the best riffs. How it comes in, like from this crazy speed, and somehow we get a quick pause of silence, and then that riff comes in, and you're going, oh, okay, like this sounds good. But then when the drums and the bass kick in with it, it is just grooving. It's got such a crunch to it. It still gets me every time I hear it. Every single time.
I'd honestly say probably the greatest riff on the album is that little bit right there.
And then we get to the solos, Imran.
Oh, the solos. My favorite part.
It sounds like Jeff and Kerry are, well, they're probably trying to outdo one another because one ear gets one solo, the other gear gets another. Yeah, but
it's like
here we go.
It's a dual guitar solo, right?
Yes, they're dueling off.
This little section right here is a masterpiece of shredding. If you want like a masterclass on shredding, listen to the solo of this. It's just insane. You've got hard whammy bar action. These are like scales that like Mozart and Beethoven would never even dream of playing. Like, you know those funny little runs that they do up and down the piano? It does not compare to Kerry King. Just insane.
Let's just all go Angel of Death.
Yeah.
Because I'm definitely taking Angel of Death. Imran, you are too. But I'm not going to deny Among the Living. That's probably one of my favourites to start off Anthrax. That's a great introduction. It's up there with the Spreading the Disease opening track. I forgot the name right now. Ben, do you remember what it is?
AIR.
AI, yeah, that's
a
the one.
Brilliant track.
I think Fistful of Metal, Spreading the Disease, and Among the Living all have really good starters. So that cannot be denied.
No,
but
not
when
at
you're
all.
going up against Angel of Death, you're handicapped from
Well,
the beginning.
I mean, Angel of Death is the best song Slayer's ever written, in my opinion.
Bold
called
statement.
It now.
Oh,
Called
damn.
it now.
Bold statement.
But they have so many good songs. Like, it'd be a fun list to put together. But it's essential listening, in my opinion.
Let's move down that list. Piece by Piece versus Caught in a Mosh. What do we got?
Okay, so now we get into my argument where I believe that Rain and Blood is an experience through listening to the album in full. I think all the songs complement each other incredibly well. But if we are just to pull some of these random fast-paced 2-minute tracks out of nowhere and listen to them on their own, like if they came on shuffle back in the old days on an iPod when we had all our different music together, I feel like it would be losing a little bit of momentum. Like, it's still crazy fast, but don't you agree?
You make a very good point.
These tracks interlock so well that all of a sudden now we're kind of shifting the momentum to Anthrax, in my opinion, because Caught in a Mosh is one of the best thrash songs ever. Could we see the trend going on here, boys?
What do we say, Imran?
One of the best. I haven't listened to it enough times to agree with that. But
Ditto.
I did really like that song, Caught in a Mosh.
Firstly, it starts off with kind of a nothing riff, really. You're like, well
that opening riff is this. I'm pretty sure is the same chord as "Killing" in the name. The opening.
Maybe. Yeah. Wow. There you go. Never even thought of that.
Yeah. I just liked it as the stadium rock kind of feel that it gave you to start. That's what I took away from that.
It's a perfect riff to start, and then Frank Bello comes in with this. I mean, once you heard that bass line, you're like, okay, we're going somewhere quick with this. And then that's one of the most cool Anthrax guitar lines, in my opinion. And if you've never seen them live, the circle pit is just going once that kicks off. And then, really quick thrash madness. Again, I love the backup vocals from Scott Ian and Frank Bello, which, there's so many great backup vocals on this album, which I just love. But, man, this track is just too good, in my opinion. It would be on every Best of Anthrax compilation. And again, another great, what do Anthrax sound like? This song. There's another track later on the album that I think is essential too, but we'll get to that.
What do you got for Piece by Piece, Imran?
Piece by Piece. I like the piratey style intro. It's very, like, the rhythm of it kind of just reminds me of just sailors on a boat.
Oh my gosh, wow, yes. Yes. Yeah, very, very European metal fest that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Very cool.
I'm just want to learn here. What did you take away from the drums in that intro, Piece by Piece?
The ride and stuff.
Yeah, the ride. That's it. There was a lot of use of the ride.
Yeah, that's what gives it the piratey feel to me. I feel like that bell sounding kind of thing just gives it that extra, like, I'm on the seas and I'm, doing pirate things. And then all of a sudden it comes in Slayer style, very big sound. Love I think the open hi-hat is a key Slayer sound to me because it gives it that extra big sound when they're doing their fast thrash stuff. I like the black metal style chords that come in through the thrash stuff.
So marginalistic terror.
Yeah, bam, bam, yeah, all of that stuff. Short and sweet. It's all right. Caught in a Mosh. I'm probably gonna have to pick Caught in a Mosh by default because it's a great song. I love the bass, as you said. The riff is great. The chorus is very catchy. It almost kind of gives me like this like alternative punky kind of feel.
Yeah, for sure. The band grew up loving punk. So we do hear it in their sound.
Yeah, you can definitely tell.
That's got to be where the gang vocal
correct.
comes
Absolutely
from.
It is. Yep.
Definitely, yeah. Throughout the album, I was thinking, like, yeah, there's a lot of punk influence in this. Yeah, I like the build-up before the really thrashy solo as well, and that big scream. It's great. Piece by Piece is great, but yeah, gonna have to be Caught in a Mosh.
I'll need to listen to Caught in a Mosh a few more times before I can pick it piece by piece for me.
Fair.
Oh, look, awesome. Both tracks are just awesome. Like, there's not a bad track between both these albums, in my opinion. Everything's awesome. But yeah, we do have to give credit to Dave Lombardo, who does one of the most exciting drum performances on a metal record ever in Rain and Blood. Oh, man. I could listen to those drums on their own with no bass or guitar, and I'd probably still enjoy it a hell of a lot for the 30-minute runtime.
All right, so I just wanted to quickly confirm with you, Ben, it's Caught in a Mosh.
It is Caught in a Mosh.
Hands down, no worries at all. Yeah, I'll need a few more listens of Caught in a Mosh. There was bits I liked and there was bits I'm thinking, okay, bit bloated here, bit bloated there, but I think the conciseness of piece by piece was the thing that got the point for me. Necrophobic versus I Am the Law. I Am the Law, it seems fine, but I think this is the one I got very stuck on. I'm a bit sick of it for the amount of times I've tried listening, trying to decipher it a bit. A bit more mid-tempo. It's a bit mid-tempo to start, then it gets like that faster Metallica-style thing as we move along. What do we got here?
Yeah, I'm the Law kind of suffers from being maybe a little tiresome. It's almost like we could have shortened the track just a little bit. I definitely love it. But at the same time, it reminded me when I first ever got into the Master of Puppets album, and I thought some of those songs were a bit too long and a bit boring, but it's crazy with repeated listens what it does to your mind. Master of Puppets is an awesome album. But yeah, I kind of feel that with that song. Yeah, maybe it's we go back to that rhythm section a few too many times, or maybe a few too many parts of the verse, and we could have hurried it up a bit. Necrophobic is just crazy madness, as this album certainly lives up to. I'm going to go Necrophobic on this one.
Yeah. Necrophobic is cool. You just get straight into it right from the get-go. I love when Slayer do that. It's like you said before, it's listening to the whole Rain and Blood album in order. That's the only way to listen to this album, really. You need that full intensity for 30 minutes. But yeah, straight into it. I like Tom Araya's vocals, just keeping up with that riff, just absolute shredding. It's kind of like almost this call and response kind of thing, where you get the vocals and then you get the riff coming in and then the vocals. The solo, it's another dueling solo. Crazy.
No, Necrophobic's a dueler.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that.
I think a few of them are. You kind of get, I feel like you can kind of tell the difference, but like once you listen to it enough, you can kind of get like, oh yeah, this is one guitar solo. Oh yeah, this is the other guy. As you're going. I like the slight breakdown right at the end to end the song, just like for a split second. Very cool song. I'm the Law. I really like the chorus of this song.
Yeah, that is a good part of the song.
It is. It's probably the best part of the song.
It's very catchy.
Yeah.
It's been stuck in my head for a little bit. Very groovy riff, a lot of chugging. Again, like the fast beat switch is really cool. Big screams as well. I love the big screams in these Anthrax songs. Jason, what are you going?
My point, I think, might end up going Necrophobic just for the reason I think you could make a zombie apocalypse horror film out of Necrophobic, especially when they ring out that note and then they go into that drum break.
Well, it almost is Halloween. So
it is nearly Halloween at the time of recording. Yeah. And going to disagree with you a little bit there, Imran. I thought those solos were very slapped on. I think I'm putting you on solo watch, Imran, because I'm starting to understand what the memes are all about when it comes to Kerry King with Jeff Hanneman solos. They just slapped on and they just...
It's Slayer. You can't question it. It's Slayer.
No, we can question it.
This is a really fascinating debate because the guitar solos that I really love, the Slayer ones wouldn't fit into what I like, but I kind of think the sheer, like, almost not slapped on, but just it almost feels like they've just done it impromptu.
Yeah.
And I think for this album it works really well. But I would take like a Marty Friedman style Rust in Peace solo track like any day of the week over this. But I think in this case with Slayer, it actually works beautifully.
It's kind of like...
It's a different style.
It's the vibe of what
what's going on around it. Correct.
Yeah,
definitely.
exactly.
And I think they captured that chaos really well.
You can't really imagine melodic soloing over a riff like Necrophobic, can you?
Not on Necrophobic, admittedly, but maybe get rid of the solo entirely because the riffs are undeniable.
They are, but
it was the 80s and it was thrash metal. There's no such thing without the guitar solos in the 80s.
Credit where it's due, Imran.
They had whammy bars, you know?
Credit where it's due, the whammies and all those bends towards the end of that. That fit. That fit for me. Necrophobic's getting the point for me. I'm the chorus makes me come back to it, but I don't remember too much coming out of it. And I guess I think it sounds real. It sounds like such a wanker when I go, the mid-tempo-ness lets it down. It's not as fast, but maybe it is a thing. But then again, when we did Exodus, the third track of Exodus was a bit more mid-tempo. I enjoyed it.
That was when what a riff on that song though.
True. Oh yeah, my point will go Necrophobic. What are you doing, Ben?
I'm going to go Necrophobic on this one as well.
To heck with it. I'll go Necrophobic.
Damn, Imran.
Here we go. Slayer making up some ground.
Yeah, 3-0 for myself. Ben 2-1. Imran 2-1. Slayer clean sweep thus far. Okay. Altar of Sacrifice versus NFL Evil Necrophesin. Great delivery, by the way.
Oh, yeah, nailed it.
Wow. I enjoyed this one. I'm not going to lie there.
This is a bit of a tough one.
Who wants to break this one down? I did learn actually, I wrote in my notes here, Ben, it's funny. I learned the pronunciation from the vocal delivery, and I enjoyed the delivery greatly.
There you go.
I didn't even realize he was saying that during the part. It was just going so fast. I'm just like, NFL. No. NFL. Yeah. I wasn't, I had to like read it really closely, but yeah.
It's just again, it's just so much fun.
It is a very
fun riff. This album is
riff.
just so fun. Like these gang vocals that you can clearly... I love Scott Ian's backup is like a lead. It just cracks me up. There's a few other guys yelling, but you can hear Scott Ian in the front there. Awesome rhythm guitar player. But great riffs in this song. Huge chorus. Some really great singing by Joey on this track, actually. Some really nice, high, long, sustained notes.
Yeah.
And this track just riffs. Really like the solo section. We should also say, too, Charlie Benanti plays on this album with Anthrax, who many people might have seen his name recently.
Pantera.
He is drumming for Pantera.
Yeah, 2023.
Replacing, no one can replace.
We're not replacing, but he's
Vinnie
filling
Paul,
in.
but he's filling in for Vinnie Paul in tribute. So that'll be pretty cool to see him playing with Zach Wilde and Phil Anselmo and all those guys.
Mr. Phillip.
We actually had a chat about that on one of the standoffs we did about Pantera, Imran and I, and he at that point he wouldn't have been very familiar with Charlie Benante. What are you thinking now? Now we're getting a taste of him.
I really did like the drumming on this Anthrax album. I think he could pull it off because some of that double bass work and some of those especially those drum fills that he does as well, the snare rolls and stuff. Crazy crash cymbals and stuff. I think he could pull it off.
Yeah, the one good thing is if you like the drum work, he plays on every Anthrax album. So at least going into any Anthrax record, you got to always have those awesome drum beats. So, pretty good stuff.
So good impression thus far with Charlie Benante.
I'd say so.
Break down the solo for me because it had a bit of a strange tone to it in my ear, but maybe I'm going a bit silly. What did you take away from that one?
Not much, to be honest. It didn't particularly stand out to me. I liked this song because it was very fun and straightforward.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked the little bridge part that they had. Right? Like they had this little like tribal drumming, and then this bridge thing comes in, and there's like the bass is kind of like doing its own thing in the background while this riff's playing. I really like that. It's kind of like doing this octave thing. That kind of stood out to me a lot. The bass in this song. This song is just more of a fun, straightforward like. It's almost like a punk song. Straight up, yeah.
It's funny that you mentioned like you like the drums and the bass because Frank Bello's actually the cousin of Charlie.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Runs in the
must.
DNA.
Must. Very cool.
It bugs me, though, because I want to take NFL, but it's tough to go against Altar of Sacrifice.
I'm struggling at the moment as well, Jason.
Run me through your thoughts on Altar of Sacrifice, Jason.
Enter the realm of Satan. How cool did that sound?
Yeah, that is just so... Oh, my gosh. It's so deadly.
The
that
first
song.
half was okay. We've heard this for the first 3 songs. That's fine. But then it hit that second half, and that's why I think Altar of Sacrifice is quite undeniable for me, and I can't look past it.
Yeah.
Do I want to go against it? Maybe. But what do we got to say on Altar of Sacrifice? Because that's my favourite part. The second half. In general,
it turns into another
and the
beast.
dive bombs. It's a bit. Yeah, you're right. It's a beast.
Yeah. I mean, this is the perfect soundtrack for those who want to play the game Doom. You listen to this Random Blood album; it just matches it perfectly. But again, just another great track. But the Slayer song coming up after is one of my favourites on the record, so I'm keen for that one too.
Are you gonna go Slayer or Anthrax?
I'm going Anthrax on this one.
You know what? I might do it. I enjoyed this.
Up to you.
I enjoyed the straightforwardness of NFL. I probably will be seeking that one out again a little bit more once we're done here. So I'm going to join you there, Benny. And that's the first Anthrax point for me. And now you've tied it up 2-2. Imran, what are you doing?
Oh boy.
Give us actually a bit more of a breakdown. What do you take away from Altar of Sacrifice? Give me a song breakdown.
Very oddly catchy riff right at the start. Like that really fast riff. It's very, very catchy. Fast paced. I liked the solo in this. Genuinely, that was some cool stuff. And then you get to that enter the realm of Satan. Like I like the fade into the big whammy dive bombs and stuff. Kind of sounds like screams of the damned and stuff, like that kind of stuff.
I like that description.
Feels like you've got flames just burst right in when that breakdown comes in. I'm going to pick Slayer for this one.
It really just was lightning in a bottle, that album, because I've listened to so many bands that have tried to copy this kind of an experience, and it always just comes across either like that bit too forced or a bit too silly, but this is just such an evil album.
It really is.
And it's just amazing. Like all these years later, 1986... we got to say the production on this album, I still think it holds up incredibly well.
I got reservations on the production.
No. You're not sure about the production?
I think the bass could have been a little bit louder. Other than that, fantastic.
It's hard to hear Araya on his bass.
That is true. That's always been a bit of a problem of Slayer mixing, I've noticed. He's always a little bit too low. But that's a fair point.
I would rather be refined a little bit more, but yeah. I mean, I guess you got to make it was the 80s. This is what they had to deal with. So look past it for a little bit. And Imran's description has made me regret not picking the Slayer song, but I'll stick to my guns. I don't really want to have
big asterisks for Jason.
It's an asterisk, definitely. Oh, wow, what a second half! Great description.
Awesome second half.
But, so Ben teased this. Jesus Saved is one of your favourites, is it?
Yeah, I think this is one of the best tracks on the album. It's funny, like the real highlights on this album for me is the opening, the middle, and the end. They somehow are able to like segment this album so perfectly in that sense. But yeah, I don't know why. I always just love this track, Jesus Saves. It's got some really, really cool riffs on it. Some interesting rhythm sections. Again, Dave Lombardo just going crazy on the drums. And we're halfway through this album, and we're starting to realize pretty quickly, I don't think there's going to be any ballads on this album.
No.
I don't think there's going to be any light guitar, no overly clean singing sections.
Oh, you wish, buddy.
We're in for a hell ride, and it's not slowing down anytime soon. Instead, it's almost getting better as we go along. It's so awesome.
That is going up against the Skeleton in the Closet, or I guess you could say Battery. No, it's a Skeleton in the Closet. I know the riff sounds like Battery. I associated it with Battery very quickly.
Very common riff that gets ripped off Battery, I've noticed. I've listened to a lot of different songs where you're like, wow, that just sounds like Battery.
This is 1987 Among the Living, isn't it?
Yes.
Year after.
Well, we should note that Anthrax, this album is dedicated to Cliff Burton, in case you guys weren't aware.
Really?
Anthrax were actually opening for Metallica on that tour when Cliff sadly passed away in the bus accident that we all know about. Again, just the amount of amazing albums that came out during this period in metal history is just awesome. So who knows if Cliff kind of helped them bring their A game for this album. I'm sure, it was just a combination of multiple things. But, Skeletons in the Closet, it's kind of, the arrangement you could argue is quite simple, but at the same time, they play it with such precision and speed, and it's incredibly well sung, but it's catchy. And Anthrax just get away with it. They're doing what they do best, I reckon.
I want to add on to your point of it's well sung. I think some of my favourite moments in Among the Living take place in pre-choruses, and A Skull in a Closet is one of them.
Yes, I know the exact pre-chorus. Actually, yeah, agreed. I reckon the pre-chorus stuff's probably better than the chorus section.
I would say so.
Probably because
the gang vocals wear thin on me a little while.
You're not huge on them.
You get a bit more resolve out of those pre-choruses where Belladonna has a bit of gives a bit of range and gives a bit of passion into it.
The thing I should mention, when they jump to John Bush, we actually lose those gang vocals. They kind of disappear. They're not in many songs. So it is John Bush is night and day different. Normally bands get different lead singers and then they sound they sound incredibly like the previous one. Yeah. This is night and day. So I'm keen for you guys to try a track down the line. But agreed. The vocal performance here is awesome. What did you think of the songs?
I like this song. It was kind of like it wasn't a filler song, but it was one of those songs that I'd listen to it again, but wasn't like super standout on the album per se. I really like the riffs and stuff. I like how the verse and the riff kind of like interplay within each other, and then they bring in like the vocal line and then the vocal line and the little solo as well. There's a bit of shredding as well as cool. I like that little bridge in the middle where like the riff kind of gets faster as it goes along. Drumming was really good in this. I like the double kicks right at the start.
Oh yeah, so quick.
Yeah. It's amazing. This wasn't particularly a standout song for me, so I think I'm going to have to pick Jesus Saves for this one. First time I ever listened to Rain and Blood in its entirety, and actually for a while after, I will admit, I thought Altar of Sacrifice and Jesus Saves were the same song. Like, they just kind of...
I can see that.
Didn't jerry to me that they were two different songs, because both of them right next to each other flow so perfectly. I thought it was just one song. But yeah, what a riff right at the start. So doomy. Bit of like 9/8 time signature in there as well. It's really cool. Then you've got the manic lyrics. Absolutely amazing. I liked the solo in this one as well, Jason. Bit of some blues, like pinch harmonics in there a little bit. Kind of climbs and falls. You get a bit of that, pearly gates before, falling back to hell, as he mentions in the song. Jesus Saves.
Good delivery.
Thanks.
Well, good delivery that Jesus Saves.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Woo.
Yeah.
Jesus Saves for Imran. It's weird. I've got to disagree with you guys. It had a beginning, middle, and end, and I found the shifts from beginning to middle and a bit jarring, and that's one of the main reasons I'm taking Skeleton in the Closet, because tell me a story.
Yeah.
Tell me a story.
Woo-ya, woo-ya. Yeah, again, just fun.
Oh, that was one of my that's my favourite implementations of the gang vocal. Plus, bass break into a solo, enjoyed that.
Oh, yes, that is an excellent passage. I almost
really
forgot that.
Bass break
yeah. Yeah, super cool.
Keep doing that. I enjoyed that. That was sensual. And great ending. Great ending. Double kick, bunch of breaks in lead guitar, and then bang. Great ending, Skeleton. So Skeleton in the Closet for me, that was a big takeaway for me.
That was a highlight, that one. Yeah.
That was a highlight for me.
You know, Jason has really, really reminded me on how awesome that track is. Like, in my head, I'm like, yeah, it's awesome. Then Jason was saying those things. Yeah, I'm going to go the same.
I was going to say, because you haven't picked yet, so is that
I'm
final
going
answer?
Skeletons in the Closet. That always has been one of my favourites off that album.
Yeah. Criminally Insane versus Indians. Now, I don't know much about Anthrax, but I went on setlist.fm one time, and I'm realising Indians seems to be a fan favourite. Ben, I don't get its appeal. Can you please explain it to me?
Indians is Iron Maiden playing Run to the Hills. Indians is Judas Priest playing Electric Eye. You didn't get the appeal for this track. This was the song I heard on YouTube when I was getting into thrash metal. I found this clip. It got recommended to me off a Metallica one. And I went, what is this? And then next minute, I was in the city later on that day, bought Among the Living. And that's how it all started. This track is awesome. This is so Anthrax, this song. And I feel that you just didn't feel this one at all.
It wasn't clicking. It wasn't clicking. It went well.
Because I even think it's got a very catchy, well-sung chorus, this one.
It does.
Yeah.
It definitely does.
Like classic almost. I can imagine Dio singing that chorus.
Or Dickinson.
Or Dickinson, absolutely. It's got a little bit of a, power metal vibe to it, this song.
Imran, I gave it a re-listen to it again, and then you realise, this is just Run to the Hills Anthrax edition. I've got here in my notes, and this is probably where a couple of criticisms I have. I've written here 4 different riff styles within the first minute. Sometimes I'm just thinking Anthrax is getting a little bit bloated sometimes. They go through all these different riffs within a short period of time, and you think, where's the direction here? Like, I think that might be one takeaway as to why.
Yeah, it is fascinating, actually, just to get to those vocals
appeal.
that they do go 4 to 5 riffs. But I've always loved that in music composing for some reason. If you remember, Jason, Ellison Hell by Annihilator, we go through about 5 to 6 riffs before we get to that opening vocal line on that album, which...
Is it worth it, though?
In my opinion, it is, especially if all the riffs are really cool. But I can understand how you could also go... Are we just wasting time?
It's a bit bloated.
But we are talking to a prog rock fan, so I do love, like, what's the word I'm looking for?
Overdone.
Overindulgence on this kind of stuff.
Fair enough. But good prog rock or prog metal works when they know when to move on.
Correct, which is why Dream Theater can be so polarizing for people.
Yeah, right.
Even though I love them, but I completely get the criticism of, like, guys, you've been soloing for 6 minutes. Can we get back to it, kind of thing. I've never ever thought, wow, there's like 5 riffs here before the vocals. But now that you've pointed that out, I'm like, yeah, there is. That's kind of amazing. Yeah. I just think the song is unbelievably catchy. The riffs are great. The lead vocals are... Joey really does a standout job here. And, man, this song live, everyone's singing in the crowd. If you can catch them at a festival, everyone's having the time of their life singing some classic Anthrax. To me, this is, again...
It's one of those non-negotiable songs at a live show at Sears, right?
It is definitely a non-negotiable. That and Madhouse. Madhouse is a classic, yeah. If we're making a Best of Thrash Metal, like 2-disc compilation, I think this finds a way on there. I think it's essential for thrash metal.
Got anything for Criminally Insane, Imran?
Just the drumming.
It's an amazing performance.
Dave Lombardo is the MVP of this whole podcast, I think. Oh, yes.
Yeah. And it just kills me all those years they always underpaid him, which is why he left.
Did they?
Or criminally underpaid him.
It's criminally insane.
It really was. Yeah.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Also, too, shout out to the echo on the snare on the opening of this song. Ooh, how tasty. I love it.
Don't even get me started on the drums. It is just...
Yeah, it's nuts.
Just big chef's kiss from me. This whole song, right when the riff comes in, feels like I'm just walking through this path, and right on both sides of me is just fire, and it's slowly getting bigger, and I'm starting to run as the song's going.
So this is an Imran adrenaline rush.
Yeah. This song gets me going, man. That riff is so evil, man. It's just... the solo, the screams of the people in the fire trying to get out, you know? It's, you got that ascending scale, and then it's coming back down, and then there's the whammy dive bars, classic Slayer stuff. This is a big Slayer point for me.
I always love just how you describe that song, like we all go for a day's hard work, and then we get home and this is how we relax, listening to music this intense, this crazy. But, we all wind down our own ways. And for us, it's enjoyable.
I've done that before, though. I've, driven home in the car and I'm just, absolutely brain dead. And on the speaker, someone's probably looked into my car and this is playing. And I'm just, staring brain dead into the distance. Yeah. I'm chilling.
This is it. Yeah. So good.
Production-wise, Imran... makes those riffs very hard to distinguish. What is going on? But it is a cacophony of noise. It's criminally insane. What can I say? No pun intended. I've blocked out the solos at this point, but those riffs are undeniable. Araya upping that ante and dun breakdown drums. The breakdown drums. That's getting the point for me. Criminally insane. Jordan, I'm joining you, Imran.
Yeah, buddy.
Good fun.
Yeah.
What are you doing, Ben?
Well, Lock in Indians for me, it was my gateway to Anthrax, so for that I'm always thankful.
Excellent. Okay, so 4-2, Slayer in the lead for myself, 5-1, Imran, and Ben, Anthrax now in the lead, 4-2.
Excellent.
So let's see, that will probably be the final score check before the end of the pod here. Okay, I'm going to be a bit controversial here. Now I'm starting to think Anthrax get a few points for me. Reborn versus One World. One World is fine, but Reborn's good. Now it's okay, good songs, maybe not those undeniable metal anthems.
They're not the 1-2 punch KOs, these tracks, but they definitely do help the album be the classics that they are. I think it's fascinating to mention too, Dan Spitz, who is the lead guitar player on these Anthrax albums, he did albums 1 to 6, left Anthrax to do what? To become a watchmaker. Huh. And that is what he's done ever since, and he's living his best life. So I just think that's fantastic. But
congratulations.
I do have to note, they never did recover from album 7 onwards, and it's not to say that those are bad records from there on, but to me there was a bit of a spark and a bit of Anthrax magic that we never quite got back. So I just had to bring that up, and I thought now is the time. One World I very much do like. Probably not one of the best Anthrax tracks, but again, all these songs just seem to be able to find that catchiness. Not sure how the guys were coming up with this stuff so effortlessly, but on this album it just seems to work. Reborn. Run me through that track, because in my head I'm struggling to remember what happens in that song. What are the key takeaways of that one?
This one's just very black metal-y. It's got a lot of black metal chords.
Yep.
So I found the solo to this has some structure to it.
Does it?
I analysed it.
The production on Rain and Blood makes it sound terrible, but sure.
I listened to the solo to this about 3 times in a row. It's got a bit of structure to it. It's got some phrasing. There's a bit of jazz.
There's jazz.
There's a bit of jazz.
Bit of jazz.
Bit of jazz.
Bit of classic rock. A lot of phrasing and motifs. Bit of wah pedal at the end.
It ends with a dive, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah.
In classic Slayer style. But yeah, it's Slayer song. It's
nothing wrong with that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. One World. I liked One World. I liked all of the riffs go very well. Like they flow really well with each other as they go along. I like the counting. 1, 2, 3, 4 as it goes along. There's a little bridge where I could not figure out the time signature for it for a very long time.
Sounded cool though.
Yeah, I realized it was probably just, I think it was just 4/4.
It's funny how 4/4 can
it was just weird off time.
Do some mental gymnastics
kind of
sometimes.
stuff. Yeah, I really liked that part though. Yeah, this is just kind of like classic thrash kind of stuff.
With punk influence.
With bit of punk, bit of Iron Maiden leads in the intro. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I see what you mean. The One World.
Yeah.
I've forgotten the lyrics. I apologise, listeners. This is sad. It's tough to do this. And instead of 5 riffs like Indians, I reckon in the first minute we went through 3 different riffs on One World.
It was about 2 or 3.
Yeah, more chanting vocals, die 1, 2, die 3, 4. That grew on me eventually, and I've actually got it here in my notes here. The ending grew on me half an hour before starting hitting the record button. So
wow,
it was a fun. Yeah, the ending finally came around. I came around to that just before we came on air, Ben. So
that is very cool.
I would take that song over Reborn, in my view. I'm not sure what Imran's doing. It sounded like you were joining me on that one.
I think I will.
What are you doing, Ben?
Yes, I'm going to go One World as well. I hate to keep playing the Anthrax card, but got to be honest here.
That's all well and good. Epidemic versus ADI/horror of it all. Epidemic, I struggle to think of anything to say about that one, but Ben, now we've got a clean guitar to start horror of it all. I think that's the ADI part, correct me if I'm wrong.
That is correct.
Now I'm realising Anthrax's production isn't very great because that is such a scratchy intro.
Yeah, I always thought this Among the Living album sounded a bit thin.
Yeah.
For my liking. And I know they released some remasters of it, which I never bought, so I never properly heard them. I'm not sure if you guys heard the remastered versions or not.
It's our first time listening to the Anthrax.
I wasn't sure, whether on streaming or the one on Spotify. Not
fair
enough.
I
think it was just normal.
You can tell this is a product of its time.
From the first song.
Yeah.
It's very, it escapes me now, but I thought of something that it sounded like when I first listened to it. I was like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You can tell.
But I do really like this track, and this becomes a little bit of a trend for the next 2 albums after, where there'll be a track late in the album with like a little instrumental opener, and then it'll kick in, and it'll be like a 7/8 track. I think In the Dark is the one on the album after. State of Euphoria, another great record. It's Among the Living 2.0, just worse.
Just worse.
Yeah. It's still a great record, but unfortunately, didn't quite match the heights of this. I love Horror of It All, actually. It's one of my favourite tracks on the album.
Well, if they want to try and make a horror environment or soundscape out of it, they've done all right when they get into when they started off.
Yeah, and Joey really sounds good in this song. It's a horror memories. Just fun stuff. With some kind of catchy dual, almost Thin Lizzy-like guitar going in between him there. At least to me, maybe a little. Probably not the best comparison. Yeah. But yeah, overall, super fun. Epidemic is kind of just adding to some chaos that Slayer have well established at this point in time in Rain and Blood. Maybe some of the listeners might be getting fatigued at this point in the album.
I definitely was. I got barely anything to say about that song. Here are my notes. It has a short solo. Second half has a riff with a hook. Big scream to cap off vocal. Like I couldn't decipher anything.
Yeah, it whizzes by that one, but still so cool. I just love that album. Like every part of that album is just so good. But yeah, I really, really think Anthrax nailed it on this one. I'm going Anthrax.
Yeah. It's ringing truer and truer when you brought up at the start of this. You couldn't listen to Rain and Blood in shuffle. It needs to be in one fell swoop.
I was a big advocate of the iPod Classic back before streaming existed, and I used to do shuffles, and these tracks would come in so abruptly and end in a blink of an eye, and it was like, what is going on?
And I'm seeing your point now. Like, if you were to, we're going track by track, and we're deciphering and trying to break down individual tracks. Yeah, it's tough to describe it on Rain and Blood because it is, as you mentioned, it's a quick one fell swoop, get it done, get it over and done with. It's 28 minutes. Enjoy it. Turn your brain off and just headbang. When you're trying
definitely.
When you're trying to sit here and describe riffs and solos and bass lines and drum parts, it's harder to do because there's not really an appropriate way to fit it.
But Jason, when you were listening to this album, when it ended, did you go, yeah, I can see why that is a classic?
Well, I can see why it's a classic if you do it in one fell swoop.
Yep.
Individually, it's a bit tough. It's like, oh, geez. Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe not necessarily Whiplash. Anyway, what do you got, Imran? You've been very silent now. What do you got for it?
Epidemic. These are my notes. Slayer are moving too fast for me to keep up with my notes.
That is bang on for me, I think.
That is very cool.
A bit of Pantera in this one. And for the solo, no one will ever truly understand Slayer solos like Slayer.
Your notes are my brain, Imran.
Yeah.
ADI.
So I'm picking the medley, ADI and horror of it all. I liked the cowboy riff at the start. It's kind of spooky. The riff was really cool. It was kind of simple, but it was just like fun. I liked the bounciness of it. It's very groovy. I liked the panning solo as it went through. The chorus, it's sick. The vocal delivery is great. What else have I got here? The thrash breakdown, of course. The bass is just moving during that part.
Yep.
I love that.
Expand on that, please. I'm interested. There was bass was a lot more prevalent here.
Yeah. I didn't have much here in my notes from memory. I just remember the rhythm section in this part was just crazy. It was just going, and it just kept going. And when you wanted it to stop, it just kept going. And you didn't want it to stop really, but yeah. No, it was great. I'd need to listen to this again one more time because I think this is the longest song up to this point. It's
longest song out of everything we've discussed.
It is the longest one out of the two.
Need to listen to it a few more times, but the two times that I've listened to it, I thoroughly remember. Yeah, this is a cool song.
The length,
I'm gonna suss this one out again.
Yeah, certainly so. It's my point as well. The length, I think, is to its detriment slightly because the middle section, I think, meandered a bit. There wasn't much memorable going on, but it won me over towards the endings. The insane thrashy solos and how it ended from 6 minutes onwards, that's what brought me around and that's a good song I'm seeking out again.
It's funny too because, Anthrax are winning quite a few of these head-to-heads, but we're kind of going, you could trim that here and there, but Slayer, my argument would never be you could trim that down.
Well, because the songs are already 2 minutes long, that's the thing.
They maximise what they put on, which I've always loved about Slayer. They've never really held on too long where you're like, all right, guys, come on. Let's hurry this up.
Yeah, and Anthrax, I think, are doing that way too often on Among the Living.
You could definitely tighten up a bit of the songwriting, I would agree.
Yeah, and that might be why Anthrax never reaching the Metallica or the Megadeth level of popularity, because they're not as... riffing, it must be fun for guitar enthusiasts, but songwriting and a general appeal and listener experience might be lacking. I think it's lacking.
That is interesting.
Among the Living, I don't think so. I think that's probably the best written one out of...
Yeah, that's an excellent
Among
song.
the Living at the very least.
Yeah.
But I don't see it in... That's the thing, I think, maybe why I didn't like Indians so much. I didn't get that from Indians.
Yeah.
And what else didn't...
I'd be fascinated for you to stick with that track a little bit longer. Maybe in a couple of weeks, play it again. Just see if you come around to it a bit.
But at least they aim for that. It's the punk rock attitude of us versus the world, and it's a war cry, and that's where the gang vocals and all that. And that's the appeal.
That
there
war cry bit. Oh my gosh, the people get hurt every night when they do that bit. It's just a mosh frenzy. It's so awesome.
Yeah.
Any other things to say about horror of it all?
Just awesome work, Anthrax, I reckon.
Sure.
This album it rules. I love it. Yeah.
I repeat, the acoustic start or the clean guitar start, that was very scratchy. And I was like, oh, okay, this is poor production. It's a bit like, yeah. But there's enough good things going on at the start once the main riffs kick in. Yeah, it's a classic build. It's nothing special, but at least you get a bit of build.
It's done well. Yes.
You can build a zombie chase in a horror film to that as your soundtrack, and it ends stunningly. So middle section a bit bloated, but at least it came around in the end. I want to seek that out again. We end Run the Living on Imitation of Life, and that's going up against Postmortem. Postmortem, I think, is a pickup. Imran, what do you got?
Yes, I agree. This is a bit of a tricky one for me. Postmortem, it's a very fun riff, very catchy. I like the fast-paced breakdown. I don't know if you call it a breakdown, but it just gets fast. That little part feels like I'm running from like Frankenstein or something. It's just the riff is just very off kilter and spooky, and it just feels like I should not be there in that moment.
Off kilter, it's more Demon Unleashed.
Yeah, something like that. It goes back into classic Slayer thrash.
This one feels more dirtier. It feels more rougher.
I feel like it's just Slayer. This song is just it. If you're, I don't know. It's just. Every time I listen to Slayer, I think, yes, this is Slayer.
Ben, the memes are real. Slayer fans are just like, Slayer!
Oh, man. Yeah. They know what they love. But
how
I
else
love
do you
them too.
describe it? That's the thing.
Well, I don't know if it's my imagination. I feel like the aggression and the pace has picked up again on this song, especially as we're going right to the end of the track. Because I think, how cool is this song when it kind of flows into Raining Blood?
Yeah, there's a big snare hit at the end.
Yes.
It's got like extra reverb on it or something. It whacks you. It does a little bit more, I think, guitar stuff, and then
I just love there's this bit where it's like, I don't quite remember the lyrics, but it's like, what am I after death? And then there's quiet, and you just hear, and then do I have to die? Insane. And the drums are going a million miles an hour, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm about to crash this car.
Yeah.
And then we get that breath into the final track, which we'll discuss after. But I'm going to have to give a point to Slayer here. That track is wildly exciting. Even though the whole album is, I think it is just such a perfect opener to the main course at the end. Yeah.
I should mention, I really liked Imitation of Life. I really liked the weird kind of spooky riff at the start, and then it goes into the dun 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 dun. I really like that. It's so heavy.
Good headbanging going on.
Yeah, so heavy, so groovy. Then it goes into classic thrash, Big Four style. The snare rolls in this are insane. As they're going, got the big high pitch,
yes,
as there's like 4 riff switches in this that just like keep going, keep you moving. I like the intro to the solo. It's really weird. It's kind of got the it's got some weird like. I think you said before Randy Rhoads.
That was just before we recorded it. We actually had another listen to that song. There was something I was like, I've actually got it in my notes here. The solo started strange, and I just went in past and went, oh yeah, Randy Rhoads-ish.
Yeah, it was a little bit Randy Rhoads-ish.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
definitely of the time.
If anyone's listening and saying, "Oh, that's nowhere near Randy Rhoads," I said, "What are you talking about?" Well, fair enough. You're probably right. I mean, Imran's the musician out of the two of us, but. No, solo started strange for me, and then it ended pretty reasonably okay. What was your takeaways, Ben?
I really do like that Anthrax track. That has to be one of the fastest paced tracks on the album too, from memory. Great way to end it, just with crazy thrash madness.
Yeah.
Not one of the best closing Anthrax tracks though, I must say. They've had some killer tracks, like Gung Ho off the album before it is one of the best Anthrax tracks ever. But still fun, and it closes out, in my opinion, just an absolute classic thrash album. But being so into thrash, like Heathens playing next week, and they're awesome. But we can talk about them another time. They got the guitarist of Exodus. Wicked. Anthrax album is great, and Slayer, that track does edge out for me.
Yeah, the point goes to Postmortem for Ben. What are you going to do, Imster? What were your takeaways vocally? I thought Belladonna had better vocal performances. I think in the start, from memory, that was a bit of a strange delivery, and he's done better the rest of the album. But
this one's an interesting one vocally.
I think I'm with Ben. It's maybe not the best song on the album, and the fact that it's closing, it's a bit of an interesting impression it's leaving you on. But.
Yeah. There's a bit of like spoken word as he does it through. It's kind of like
that's weird.
It's like this weird sassy punk song.
Yeah, I forgot he does that. Yeah, that is weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't a fan.
There's like that little bit in the middle.
He doesn't do that often. You'll be happy to know.
Kind of. Yeah. Yeah, it was very weird. There's that bit in the middle that stood out to me where it's got this like weird reverb on it that like. It's got like the double reverb that a lot of blues has, where it's like, oh, you ever think for yourself? Have you ever? I just want to know. It's like, I don't know what you're talking about, man, but sure.
I'm going to support your point, Imran. Yeah. We'll refer to the notes, and I quote, "These verses vocally sound like someone failing to collect their thoughts."
Yeah, maybe
that supports your point. I think.
If you guys,
that sounds about right.
If you guys dug those vocal segments, Suicidal Tendencies are a band for you.
Oh, I love Suicidal Tendencies.
They're a great band.
Yeah. Oh, don't get me started. Institutionalized.
Amazing.
Yeah, that one song.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, great track.
Oh, it's a classic. Yeah, Postmortem for me, I think. Quick, take it.
I think so too for myself as well. I think I'm going to join the two of you there and take Postmortem myself. I didn't have much to say about it. I thought it had a dirty and rougher edge to it. The big squeal. Thoughts, Imran?
It was big.
And it was a squeal.
We got to touch on this squeal because it keeps coming up. There was no band that Slayer loved in their early years more than Judas Priest. Rob Halford is the king of the high-pitched scream. So that was heavily inspired from Judas Priest. Tom Araya clearly made it his own. But I just find it funny that of all the things they took from Judas Priest, it wasn't like the beautiful dual melodic guitar solos or those meaty, heavy riffs. It was the high-pitched scream that carried on. So, yeah, Judas Priest were still just... Priest were massive in the 70s. They got bigger in the 80s, like they exploded in 82, which the timeline for Slayer is pretty perfect because I think it's the first Slayer album 1983 or
something like
4. It's one of the two, Show No Mercy. Talk about bad production. Oof, that first album sounds terrible.
I'm yet to listen to it, and I planned to before coming in here, but I didn't get a chance.
Yeah, no. It's a laugh. The Hell Awaits record afterwards, that opening track Hell Awaits is classic Slayer too, so... Yeah, a lot of fun to check out.
The Gold Star rules apply for the final track, so let's just run through it for admin's sake, and if it's your first time listening, the Gold Star rule is if a song goes uncontested, if you would actively seek that song out again, or if you think it would go up again, if we put that song up against any of the opposing songs on the opponent's album, would it get a point? It's Raining Blood that we're talking about. Of course we're giving it a Gold Star.
Can I just say quickly?
Yes.
The devil himself could not write this song.
Not the devil himself. Wow. Okay.
It's very rare that a band that's known for their main song actually is the perfect definition of what they sound like. But in Slayer's case, I think Rain and Blood is an essential sounding Slayer song. Yeah. It's everything that Slayer is in the one song, and also just beautifully composed.
Do you know what makes this song work for me the most, Ben? Is we've had this unrelenting Slayer go on for 25 minutes, and then Postmortem ends, and then bang, and then you get that 10 seconds of breathing room to build that soundscape. The storm hits, and then... Now we're on the train. Now we're invested. They built some investment into this one.
Do you think the album would have been better off if there was a little bit more quiet bits in between... the 25 minutes before we got here? Or do you think that's why it works so well?
That's why Raining Blood works so well.
Yes.
It is, that album does not stop until that moment. It just keeps going, keeps going. You're like, when is this going to end? And then all of a sudden there's this lightning, and then there's, the big squeals in the background. You're like, what's happening? Why am I here? All of a sudden you get the dun dun dun.
Yeah.
As it's going, you're going, and then shh. And then that riff comes in and you're like, whoa.
They took some time to build some investment into this one, and they had things around it to complement it, and that's what made that riff hit so well.
Yeah.
Back in my high school days, this song actually annoyed me because the talk of the town was Guitar Hero 3, and Rain and Blood was the track at near the end of the game.
Right.
And we had to wait for this long, drawn-out intro to get to try to beat this song every time, and it was really hard. So I'd have to sit through this intro like 100,000 times until I actually pulled it out earlier this year. I could still beat it, so I was rapt about that.
Nice.
On expert mode. Let's go. Flex. But yeah, now that I listen to this not thinking of the game, it's so good. It's amazing. But at the time, it did annoy me. For that one reason.
When was this, Ben?
Guitar Hero 3 came out 2007.
Okay, so this is 2007 Ben Holt.
Yeah, this is
room.
this is before I got really into metal. And Guitar Hero was actually a big gateway for me and all my mates at the time. And
so 07's the year you got in, or like 08?
I would probably say 08 properly, because I saw my first concert in 08, which was Judas Priest. That freaks me out how long ago that is now, though. It's really strange.
Yeah.
But yeah, this track is a masterclass. I really appreciate, too, how they let the Rain outro go longer than it needed to. I feel it helps you gather your thoughts.
The intro goes for a bit long, right? And then you get this song, and then that really insane guitar just screams from hell.
Yeah.
And then it just cuts, and then you get the what just happened?
We have talked a little bit about a live setting, and as you both would know, when we get this intro of the drums and the rain and the eeriness, the pit will split into two because a wall of death is opening up, and it's just so eerie because not everyone's going to walk out of there the same way before it begins. And next minute, after the song's over, there's heaps of people in the medical tent, broken arms, broken noses, blood everywhere. But we all had a good time, and everyone picked each other up, looked after each other. But no song unites two metalheads quite like Raining Blood by Slayer. It's a classic.
Yeah, that is one song. If I ever wanted to see a band live, it'd probably be Slayer, purely just for Rain and Blood, just to be in a pit while that is happening.
It does upset me you've never seen them.
It upsets me as well.
You know, the first time I ever saw them, they played with Megadeth at Festival Hall in 2009, and Tom Araya had lost his voice. So my first time watching Slayer was a 50-minute Slayer instrumental set. There were no vocals. They tried to get a few different roadies and singers up to sing a few tracks, and they sounded awful, so they just stopped. But luckily I did get to see Slayer a few more times after to hear Tom actually.
Did the mosh pit try and sing along?
Yes, but their amps were so loud, more than most bands, we couldn't really hear them all that well. Yeah. But good memories. But Megadeth in my opinion, Megadeth probably should have headlined if they knew that Slayer couldn't sing. But anyway, Slayer are just so popular in Australia. I don't know if you guys have noticed that. I'm sure you have. So.
There's been multiple Mosh Pit alumni before all three of us joined the show that they're all very proud of themselves that they survived a Slayer Mosh Pit.
There you go. Yes, gold star.
Yeah, gold star. Was there any doubt? Goodness me.
Yeah. You should have just put it on your paper before we even got in the studio.
Yeah, I was a bit. I should have. You're not wrong. I thought I'll write it down as we're doing this discussion. No, we should have done that before we walked in.
If any one of us was to not put a gold star on this song, get out of the studio.
You can hear that is Imran just summing up his notes. He's putting his notes away, and they're about to be thrown across the studio. There they go. They're in the bin now. Done. Fine. Actually, I might need you to go to the bin and pick out those notes one more time, Imran, because I do have a small question for you. I want you to break down that breakdown.
The breakdown?
That is just an incredible breakdown.
It is the simplest riff of all time, and that's what makes it amazing.
Nice.
It's beautiful. And then you've got that riff that comes in over the top of it. Honestly, I think if anything, the drums make this breakdown, because the riff comes in, it's just toms, it's just dun 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 dun, and then that groove comes in. That's where you want to start running around, just like head banging, just diving over people or whatever you want to do in a mosh pit. Like that groove is, if that wasn't there would be no breakdown.
I'm not sure, Imran, if you've ever heard the record, but I love the Slayer album Divine Intervention. It's got Paul Bostaph on drums because they just kicked out Dave Lombardo after Seasons in the Abyss. It's an unbelievable drum performance on that album, and it's a very punky sounding Slayer on that record. Very brutal, but some really interesting mid-pace tracks as well with some lighter guitar work. It's worth a shot. It goes for about 32, 34 minutes.
Okay.
I just love that album. I've always really dug that record. So I would be curious for you to hear it and see what you think.
All right.
Yeah, but you'll like it. It's
Yeah.
good.
I mean, it's Slayer, of course.
It's Slayer, but yeah, the drums definitely have a different feel to them, but it's beautifully
Okay.
performed. So yeah, I always like, a bit of homework in between.
Yeah.
Because why not?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. And one final thing, I did want to expand because we only touched it in passing, and the Rain to close. You were talking about it was slightly longer than I guess initially thought. Is that a good fit, or do you think a bit too long could have shortened it? Because there's a case for both.
No, I remember the first time I ever heard the album, that Rain came on, and I was just saying, holy gosh, what on earth did I just listen to? And I actually needed that Rain for me to reflect on what I just heard. So I think it was done by design and it's perfect.
That's your case for it, because the case against it, we've done podcasts in the past where they end on a piece of it. They either start a song with ambience or end a song with ambience, and it goes on a bit too long and you think, can you shave it? That's wasted time. But I think Ben's more of what Ben's a bit more, this is the more appropriate action to time. This is when it works.
Yeah, no kidding. I have heard probably 50 plus records where we just have this weird ambient outro that goes for 8-9 minutes, and I go, guys, what on earth? What were you thinking? Lulu comes to mind, actually. The final track on that, I think it's really sad strings for 9 minutes, and it just puts you in a bad mood. I did buy that album on CD, folks. Just so you know.
You have it on CD.
I have it on CD. Yeah.
You're probably the only person that has it.
Probably any person you know that has it. I don't know anyone else that's got it. So, at the time, so I mean, JB Hi-Fi was always perfect for buying all your CDs. They had everything. And I remember going in the store to buy Lulu, and there was a review, because they'd put reviews up for stuff, and it got half a star, and it says, please do not buy this.
Please do not buy this.
That's the only time of any album or any music I've ever seen that says do not buy. Yeah, I bought it.
What did you take it to the cashier, and did they react to anything?
No, I think the girl was oblivious to what I was about to buy.
Damn.
I somehow listened to the album 5 times before I came to the conclusion that I don't think I'm ever going to play this again. But I moved house recently. I brought it with me. I've still got it. Still sitting in one of the rooms. I can pull it out anytime I want.
Memories, I guess. You could put it on your wall with the review of the JB Hi-Fi.
I wish I grabbed that code. So,
we talked about it very briefly on a previous podcast, but you've tried listening to Lulu.
I've tried. I've never listened to it in its entirety. I think I got track 3 or track 4, and I was like, no, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm not brave enough to try it. I need to do it. I think, Ben, we've got to meet up at some point and you can bring the CD with you. I'll give it a shot. With your enthusiasm, I think I could survive, but I don't know.
I got very lucky recently because my folks are moving interstate, and the issue with that is that my dad can't keep his stereo system where they're moving to. He's not going to be able to blast music. So I've got his amplifier, I've got his CD player, I've got his really big tower speakers. They sound awesome. I almost think even Lulu would sound really good through these things.
As a person who also owns tower amplifiers in my house,
lovely,
because of my father and his collection from his youth,
so good.
I can attest. Anything is better with tower amps.
It is
nothing beats the experience.
He's not kidding.
The reason why I still
all of a
buy
sudden
CDs,
we're a hi-fi podcast now.
The reason why I still buy CDs even in 2022 is so I can experience them on those big amps at home.
Absolutely. My housemate has listened to nothing but digital music probably for the last 10, 15 years, and I had it on, and he goes, wow, it's just a really different experience, isn't it? I said, yeah, it takes some time getting used to, but once you're used to it, it feels like a live concert in your house.
Yeah.
It's just awesome.
Exactly right.
So cool.
We went way off topic. We've got to...
Yeah, sorry. I have a terrible habit of doing that.
I don't care. We're catching up here. Again, listeners, we haven't seen each other in a very long time. This is fun. And seriously, this is actually another reason. I'm never going to stop using Spotify, but I'm never going to stop using CDs because as long as I have those within my possession.
I stopped using Spotify.
Really?
I have now moved to Tidal. I'm a Tidal kid.
Tidal.
And I have never looked back. High fidelity audio streaming.
So you get the FLAC audio and stuff,
yes,
don't you?
You get the masters, you get everything. I've got I got 120 gig a month on my phone, so data doesn't matter. I can listen to stuff, but we'll have that conversation off the air. But life changing, man. Once you hear the masters through a really good pair of headphones, or you'll hit play on Spotify and you won't come back, in my opinion.
Damn.
That's a piece of. That's the first time I think we've ever given consumer advice to the
Yeah.
listeners.
No, not at all. Title can be a tricky sell because you have to have the equipment to back it up, right?
I don't.
Yes. So if you had an average pair of headphones, you might be able to hear a little bit of difference. The difference comes in when you've got the equipment.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Imran's in a band. You might be selling it quite well to him.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I'm thinking about
Let's
it.
tally this up. Slayer v Anthrax.
Let's
We'll
go.
start with Imran because it's quite easy. Slayer won 7-3.
Oh,
Congrats,
Surprise.
Congrats, Slayer.
Yeah, it was him.
Hey, I'm
so it
glad
sounds like-
we knocked a couple off the board, so that was all right.
yeah. No, I did like that Anthrax album, but look, it's Rain and Blood by Slayer.
It bugs me that the vote is going to come down to me because Anthrax won 6-4.
Oh,
Yeah, good. I'm glad that was somewhat, well, not quite even, but close.
Yeah, no, it was a tight contest for Ben, and it gives Among the Living the grand point, but it does leave the vote on me, which is a bit annoying because I would much rather it be on Ben and not me because there's a lot more pressure on me. Slayer won at 6-4. Your winner is Rain and
Hey,
Blood.
congratulations, Slayer. I mean, to be fair, in the grand scheme of music, that is the more famous album. But Anthrax putting in a great entry into the
yeah.
history of thrash and heavy
I
metal
think
music.
definitely going to listen to some Anthrax after this because I did like this album a lot.
I'm really keen for you to try the album Sound of White Noise. That's my favourite.
Sound of White Noise.
Yeah, with John Bush. So at least you
Yeah.
get a different singer. And
Oh,
you'll
yeah,
go,
okay.
wow, they sound like a different band.
Yeah, I gave Spreading the Disease a shot. Is that a high recommendation?
Yes, correct.
Imran,
That
as
would
well?
be number 3 on my list.
Number 3 on the list. What is your top 3 favourite Anthrax?
Sound of White Noise, Among the Living, and Spreading the Disease.
There you go.
Yeah.
And I guess to end it, we'll go specifically to Among the Living and Rain and Blood. We'll get a top 3 from all of us. So what's your top 3 for each album, Imran?
Among the Living, I'm going to have to pick the medley, ADI Horror of It All. Among the Living, I really liked that. And NFL, F and nickel lesson, F and F, yeah, that one.
That one.
Yeah, that one.
Rain and Blood?
Rain and Blood. Rain and Blood. Angel of Death, and probably Criminally Insane.
Well, you're not too far. I think that's almost mine. Angel of Death and Raining Blood are by default. Everything
Yeah.
else was a battle to see what would get third place, and it's a race between Piece by Piece, Criminally Insane, and Altar of Sacrifice. I'll be different from you, Imran. Altar of Sacrifice for me.
So that's a good choice.
Among the Living, the title track. That's probably my favourite off it. NFL. Evil, Evil Rick Fesson and NFL, and a Skeleton in the Closet. Those are my top 3.
Yes, Slayer, Let's Go, Angel of Death, Jesus Saves, and Raining Blood.
See, by default, Angel of Death and
Yeah.
Raining Blood. By default.
Well, I
Well,
think
it's
because
a
they're
sin to pick anything
they're
else.
the 2 most complete songs on the album.
Yeah.
And by
Yes.
that,
Yeah,
I reckon
yeah.
all the other tracks accompany each other,
Yeah.
but they don't have their own statement in a weird way. They're just kind of joined together, which is awesome. I love it. This is coming from someone that loves Meshuggah. It all sounds the same. And then if we go to Anthrax, we got to go Caught in a Mosh, Skeletons in the Closet, and ADI Horror of It All. Well done, gentlemen. I'm so happy
Oh,
that
yeah.
you got to listen to an Anthrax album. It's been really cool, by the way, knowing Jason and you and being able to throw you guys a couple of records over the years. Like, I'm not sure Jason ever would have listened to Annihilator.
Unlikely.
Probably unlikely, right? Was Dream Theater? No, you were already in the Dream Theater. Am I
I
imagining
tried
things?
Dream Theater briefly
Yeah.
before pre-COVID. I
Yeah.
tried it out.
Yeah.
So what I did, I listened to Images and Words up till Metropolis Part 1.
Yep.
And then it was Scenes from a Memory in its entirety.
Yep.
And it didn't click initially. Then I tried the song As I Am off Train of Thought. And then I got back in, and then I finally became a bit more of a Dream Theater fan.
Beautiful.
When we did the Scenes from a Memory Operation Mindcrime podcast.
Yes. Oh, what great albums.
And now
Jeff Tate's coming out again.
Oh, is he?
He is, but he's playing Empire along with Rage of Order.
Okay.
2 full albums. Stunning. All the guys in his band are like 25.
And Imran, to cap off the Dream Theater thing with Ben, because of the podcast, now I've explored more Dream Theater. My new favourite Dream Theater song is Blind Faith off 6 Degrees.
Oh, that is
The James LaBrie written song.
fascinating.
Yeah,
That is a really good song, to be fair.
it really is.
Yeah.
That it's very atmospheric to that. It's really fun.
But-
Ben
yeah.
is an encyclopedia, everyone, and he is the most passionate
6
metal
Degrees
fan
of
I know.
Separation? Is that what that one's called?
Inner Turbulence.
Inner
Inner
Turbulence.
Turbulence, that's the one. Yeah.
That
I think I've heard that one before.
That was officially the album where the Dream Theater Self-Indulgence really started to hit.
Yeah, because every song on that was like really long.
Really long. It's partly Jordan Rudess, his influence on the keyboards, but oh my goodness.
I'm yet to listen to the second half because it is 6 songs blended into over 40
best part of the record. That song is absolutely essential because there is so much light and shade. It does not feel like 42 minutes. As a matter of fact, thinking about it, I want to go home and just listen to it. That is such a great song. Please, you'll thank me.
Okay, I'll give it another shot.
Don't go, oh my God, it's 8 parts. And no. It keeps moving.
Okay.
Really super well put together.
Shot. No worries.
He'll have a new favourite song after this.
Imran, this is why I wanted to make sure we did this in a proper studio so you two can meet in person. And we did a podcast with Ben earlier this year. It was Iron Maiden v Judas Priest, and we wanted to make sure that that wasn't going to be the last one we did with him this year.
Definitely.
And this is exactly the reason why.
Yep.
And finally,
I do
deep dive
appreciate
into Slayer. Did a deep dive into Anthrax. What are your final conclusions discovering Anthrax?
I need to listen to more Anthrax. That's my final conclusions. I've been missing out. The big 4 has only been the big 3 for me. Now it's finally complete. It's the big 4. It makes sense, you know.
Have you dabbled much into Exodus?
Not particularly.
Okay, because
Are they the one that did Agent Orange?
No, that's Sodom. Or Sodom.
Yep. Yeah.
Another good band. Look, I think Exodus have the best riffs in thrash metal. Hands down, in my opinion. And Bonded by Blood's not even the album I look to when I say that.
Yep.
But
which one is it?
Amazingly, it's actually Atrocity Exhibition Exhibit A. I'm not sure what Gary Holt was doing at that time. That has some of the most amazing metal riffs in the history of the world, in my opinion. It's just and it's just crushing, and it depends if you can get past like the really shouty, harsh vocals, but
I'm always down for shouty vocals.
Very tough. Yeah.
The conclusion I drew, actually. There we go. He's writing it down in his notes. He's getting it all set.
I've got a few here already.
There's actually a conclusion I did draw from listening to these 2 albums, and that is, I reckon Joey Belladonna, best vocalist out of the big 4.
Agreed.
Oh.
Agreed. I think because Imran hasn't heard Spreading the Disease, which is his best vocal performance.
Oh, okay. I wasn't even aware if that's how you take it.
I still stand by Tom Araya. But
Tom Araya, better than Hetfield, he's better than Mustaine.
Everyone's
better than Joey.
Yeah, I just like his delivery of just the way he delivers everything is just, I don't know, there's something about it that I really like. It's not, like, he doesn't sing like the other guys, sure, but the way he delivers his vocals is just very commanding and just like in your face. I love it. And all of his lyrics are just so ominous and just horrifying. You know, you really sink into it, I feel like. And the fact that because Hetfield's vocals changed over the years. Dave Mustaine's,
they haven't changed. They stayed the same.
Yeah.
Then again, Dystopia he sounds okay on. Euthanasia he sounds okay.
Yeah, I think Euthanasia is the best Dave Mustaine vocal performance.
I would agree with that.
Great on that record. Yeah, I know Dave gets a lot of flack for his vocals, but there is something charming about Dave Mustaine's vocals over those Megadeth riffs. Like, I don't know, I just think he does a great job with... Well, clearly, he's not a natural singer.
I think from conversations we've had in the past, Ben, I think that drew me to the conclusion... Dave Mustaine is not a good vocalist, but he is he is the Megadeth vocalist. Megadeth don't sound like Megadeth if Dave's not singing. And I think you might have been the one who pointed that out to me and it started to stick recently.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong. Someone else might have taught that to me. But Dave Mustaine fits with Megadeth. He would not fit anywhere else.
Yeah.
Anywhere else he'd be dog crap.
If we are happy to keep the podcast going, because I have some things I'd love to keep talking about with this, I'm still to this day blown away that Metallica were the band that got massive and not Megadeth. And why I say that is those early Metallica albums have so many 8-minute songs on them, so many 7-minute songs. And I thought, man, people wouldn't have the attention span for this. With Megadeth, where 3 to 4 minutes, got some pretty catchy guitar work, some jazz-like guitar work.
The thing is, though, Mustaine wrote all of the stuff from Ride the Lightning and Kill 'Em All.
He's credited on 4 or 5 songs.
So
but
on Kill 'Em All, it's Motor Breath, Four Horsemen.
Jump in the Fire.
Jump in the Fire.
Metal Militia.
Seek and Destroy as well, right?
No, he's not credited.
Oh, he's not on that.
Or
Okay.
is he not credited?
He's on No Remorse, absolutely.
Yeah.
And then on Ride the Lightning, he Ride the Lightning. He gets
Ride
co-write
the
on.
Lightning and Call of Cthulhu.
Yes. And then he always argued that he wrote Left of Messiah, which I can actually hear some Dave Mustaine riffing in that, but who knows?
Sure. But I think it goes back to, why did Metallica get more popular and not Megadeth? They had more refined songwriting as they progressed. That's
yes, I would agree. Yeah. Also, too, James did develop to be quite a competent singer.
Yeah. Not the world's best, but I love James.
But James is great. I enjoy his performance. I just love Metallica so much. Even their bad albums, I think they're just the best.
We've talked about that way too often on this show, Imran and I.
Yeah.
But no, draw it all the way back.
Yep.
Joey Belladonna is my favourite of the Big Four now.
That's cool.
Officially,
that is
after
awesome. I think that's a really good takeaway because I like John Bush even more.
I think that's our job now. We've got to listen to John Bush, Anthrax. What would you recommend, John Bush?
Definitely Sound of White Noise.
Sound of White Noise,
yeah. First track is perfect, and just open-minded. Enjoy. It's their best album, in my opinion.
Okay.
And even with those notes, Imran, Slayer was the one that won it. Good on Slayer. They're that damn good, according to us on the stand-up.
Slayer!
What I would love to know, because we're all in the room together, it doesn't happen very often, we're going to go around, I'll go first. If we can all do another standoff, what 2 albums would you, Imran, and you, Jason, like us to discuss? I'll go first.
Oh.
I'm going to be a little self-indulgent here. I would love to do a gent prog head-to-head. I would love to do Tesseract Altered State.
Tesseract, I've heard some of this stuff.
Versus Periphery. Periphery 2, this time it's personal. And we'd just get rid of like the 2-minute interludes just to cut it down to make it fair as like a 10 on 10. I think that would be super fun because I don't think you guys listen to heaps of that kind of stuff.
Ironically
Not
enough,
particularly, no.
Ironically enough, on my list in the folder, the illustrious Great Metal Standoff folder listeners is Periphery 2 versus The Stage, Avenged Sevenfold.
Oh, okay, that's kind of close.
Okay.
Close,
just in my head, it was like gent versus gent.
No,
and just to see
not a bad idea.
What bands can do with that sound.
Not a bad
because
idea.
I think we always know
I never
it.
really delved much into gent, but I'd be interested to because I've heard gent and it's like it's just very groovy.
Oh yeah, it became like a unhealthy addiction for me and my housemate. Like the last 10 years, we've listened to like every gent band, and they do all sound the same after a while. But I've picked 2 of the best albums, and there's no way you guys wouldn't enjoy it. But I'd love to know like your takeaways, who would win, all that kind of stuff.
All right. You know what? I'd be interested to hear some of your like prog stuff from like the 70s, like with the bands that do all the big 10-minute songs.
Oh yeah. I got plenty of that. Yeah.
Oh, what am I thinking? What is the one that we came up with? Wish You Were Here and
versus In the Court of the Crimson King.
In the Court of the Crimson King.
This is what we talk about when we're not on air, listeners.
Yeah,
this is all the things
this is
we
just
can
now
cop.
officially on air.
In the Court of the Crimson King is one of the best albums ever.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, talking about good recordings, that album still sounds great all these years later.
That came out in 1969.
I know. Yeah, I was just about to say that. Oh no, that's just mind blowing. And I was in a bit of a Pink Floyd mood early in the year for some reason. So
Pink Floyd are great.
Fun. Yeah, they are.
Yeah,
definitely.
They're hella overrated, but they're great.
Oh, they're pretty great. Yeah, I like them.
Wish You Were Here is so much better than Dark Side, but that's a conversation for another day.
Yeah, I'd be really excited to dive back into that because I haven't heard that album in ages.
Hell yeah.
That would be fun.
This is what we've had on our minds. I'm glad we got to share it. Now it's up to you if you want to hear it. And we'll go ahead and do it, but until then, Slayer wins. Ben, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
That's all for now. Stay up to date by following us at facebook.com/Metal Standoff Pod and check out our other battles on your preferred podcast platform. Plus, be sure to tune into Sin's main metal show Mosh Pit Thursday nights, 8 p.m. on 90.7 FM, DAB plus digital radio or online at syn.org.au. Until next time, metal up your ass.